Happy Sunday. I just wanted to come on and chit chat about dating. And I know the conversation is like tired, but for me, it's very prevalent and real what I'm experiencing with dating. Being 40 plus, and not really knowing who my target audience is, like who they say go where you're celebrated. Well, where I'm celebrated is with younger men, and the older men or men my age, I'm 40, so men my age 40 plus, it seems like they just don't know if they want to date me. They're always confused about that part. It's like they have to gather so much information about me, and it honestly leads to nowhere. Maybe they're not really attracted to me, my lifestyle, or my thought process, or I don't know what it is, but when I look at the bigger picture, where I'm celebrated is with younger men. Younger men always are right out the gate. I want to take you out. Let's go do this. Have you done this before? Like, I feel like with older men, it's always a question about this and what about that, and I really like you, and I don't really know when I'll be able to take you out, but I'm so busy with my kids or this or that. And it's like, well, what did you want to talk to me for? When this younger guy over here is literally ready to take me out, like ready to do stuff with me. And long term, I know that being with someone younger, they're not usually stable, and someone older usually is. But what comes with that, a man who's unsure about you in the beginning is going to continue to be unsure about you. It doesn't, with men, for what I've noticed, it doesn't, start like low and then exponentially go off the chart. Like it doesn't positively correlate and stay that way. Usually if in the beginning they're unsure about you, then they continue to be unsure about you. So I don't like a fearful, avoidant type of guy who, middle-aged, divorced, possibly several kids, and still don't know what he wants in a woman, but wants to spend time with me. That I can't accept that from a person who is from my generation. If you're from my generation, you know what it means to court a woman appropriately. And for you to bother someone that you deem intelligent and highly respectable, I don't understand why you would bother someone and not be sure of what type of situation you want. It's always a question mark over my head when I'm dating someone. Now, I could like them and want to get to know them, but I'm a person, I'd rather do it on the date. Like, I would rather get to know the details about you, as we go. I don't like to sit on the phone, talk constantly around the clock, get familiar with you, and then it doesn't end in us actually going out and having shared experiences. So I noticed that a lot of times with a middle-aged man, it's a recipe for a situationship. And don't get me wrong, I've had situationships, but that tends to lead to being disappointed. Because at some point you're going to go into the holiday season and you don't really know how to describe your relationship with this person. And you've been kicking it with them, maybe possibly the whole summer. They're so nice to you. But when the time comes to, spread the love and holiday cheer and everything, you're stuck being with someone who actually may not be interested in anything past what you already have. So, and I've experienced this firsthand. I've dealt with someone who, we were in a dating phase, and then it turned into a situationship because he no longer wanted to go out. He just wanted to come over my house and for me to come over his house. When the holidays came around, he bought me a gift, and I was really thankful for it. And I said, oh, I want to tell my friends the gift he bought me. And I said, I don't know who to tell them that it's from. What should I say? Trying to hint at, like having a what are we conversation. This man gonna say, tell him it's from someone special. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, this guy clearly does not like me like that. Like, he likes the benefit. He doesn't like me like that. Middle-aged guy, claims to really know what he wants and establish once again. And the dates were good, but it just fell into a situationship. And me accepting that was it was ridiculous. But needless to say, like, he's a good person and we still remain friends, but I told him I no longer wanted to see him after a certain point, because 6-month mark to be exact, because I don't like the idea of being with someone that long and we still don't know what this is. Like, that, to me, that's ridiculous. So he even told me, like, I really like you, and how did you know that I didn't want a girlfriend? I never said I didn't want a girlfriend, and I do want a girlfriend, but you're dragging this on so long, it's just not working for me. Whereas I could be with someone younger and they're like, let's do this, let's get to know each other, let's go do stuff. And I know for a fact that they have a respect level for me that is not going to waste time, because time is precious, especially if we're in our 40s, and this person happens to be younger. Like, come on, they understand time is money, and they understand that you don't want your time played with, put it that way. So I'm not saying the grass is greener, but I'm going where I'm celebrated. And if I attract younger men and younger men desire me, I'm going to go where I'm celebrated. I'm going to go where somebody has at least the idea that I'm going to approach you the right way. I'm going to take the necessary steps to get to know you. I'm not saying down the road that it's guaranteed we're going to enter a relationship and he's going to be committed to me and, we're going to spend the holidays together. Not saying that. But what I'm noticing is just that it's literally how you approach me and how we start off says everything. So when a person starts off questioning certain things and, I'll go with the flow and, let's just see I can't go off of that. Time is precious and we're getting older, and if you don't know what you want, just don't bother. And this is not to say that all of the men that are in that age range that I've dealt with, we ended up in a situationship. No, I've had boyfriends in that age range, but one thing was in common with these boyfriends. The emotional availability was very, very low. They treated me well, but when it came to actually being my safe space, being able to go through situations together and unpack things, they lacked, and we ended up breaking up. So I noticed it's just this correlation of men who, I don't know if it's from their past relationships or marriages, they don't have the emotional availability. They don't have the emotional capacity to deal with a woman long term. They'll short term date you, and then the minute it becomes real for them, that's when they feel like it's too much. They're ready to jump ship. So, and I'm not even the type of woman that will give a man problems. I don't even give men my problems. But I notice if you're a man who's anything I may mention, you completely avoid it, or you don't even see, because you don't see a future, there is this distance you have, like that's your life. I have nothing to do with it. Great. Like, so I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to limit myself to just dating people in my age range. I'm going to explore a little bit, because why? I need to go where I'm truly celebrated, and I need to see what that is like, because I want true love. I don't know about y'all out there, and I pose this question to you. What are your dating needs? Like, I'm dating for love, and I don't really know what some of these men in my age range are looking for. I just don't know anymore.